Alright, we are at Horsethief Mile, and if you ask why I'm from Pennsylvania, why am I in California, because it's awesome. But what I got to do last weekend was I got to play with Total Control, which is basically a advanced riding class, kind of an advanced street riding class on track, and then the second day was basically a private track day. So I'm on Lee Parks' crf150r with 12-inch wheels. It is a brilliantly set up bike. This thing is like, it's on rails. It's almost telepathic how well it turns. And Horsethief is a very unforgiving track. You can kind of look at towards the edges and you can see there's no runoff, and there's jagged holes and rocks everywhere, so stay on the pavement 100% of the time. So I'm chasing SF450 Husqvarna. It's one of the other instructors, Lawrence, and this is a brilliant bike. I loved riding that bike. It was so good. It's probably the 450 Supermoto is probably the best way to do Horsethief, because it's kind of a short track that's not super reliant on power, but you can kind of see with 22 horse or 25 horse or whatever the 150R makes, it's not enough to keep up with him on the straights, but in the corners I make up a little bit of ground. Maybe on technique, maybe just because I'm on an easier bike to ride. I would like to think I was as quick on the 450 as the 150R, but who knows? No way to tell. Our lap times are like, somewhere in the 110, 115, something like that range for a mile. So averaging slightly under 60 miles an hour. Every turn on the Horsethief is a late apex, so every turn on the Horsethief is late brake, late turn in. Like you can kind of watch, like I get on the brakes after the turn starts, and I turn in basically once I run out of road. And it is so much fun. There's so much elevation. The entire track is either uphill or downhill. There's never a breather. Now, this little front straight, whatever, like this turn, it's bumpy, so the bike likes to kind of float out. I rode a BMW 310, which was an absolute total bone stock boner street bike, and on the boner street bike, it was dramatic how the bumps upset it. Like, the 150R eats up the bumps significantly better with Lee's setup. But on the boner, it was kind of, it was floating out. It was kind of sliding front and rear out. So even on the straight, you can't really put all the power down. Now, the guy that just passed us, that's a MT-09 or FZ-09, whatever, one of the other instructors at Total Control. Super quick guy. Actually, I'm not sure. Well, he is definitely a Total Control instructor. I'm not sure if he was teaching this weekend or not, but he definitely gets to use a whole bunch of horsepower here. Unfortunately, the 150R that I'm on, Lee didn't grab the right gearing, and we didn't have anything to change it to, so it was just kind of like hit the rev limiter and just, listen for it to. Yeah, you can see the fender just kind of shake there over some of the bumps. And you can hear the thing breaking up top, so like it can't make any more power. However, because the 150R is so telepathic, I can absolutely make up a lot of ground, especially in the chicane, which is a slow turn. I can make up a lot of ground on these power bikes. So, really fun track. Been used for all sorts of magazine tests for bikes, actually like hot motoring or whatever, the Japanese show, like with the drift cars, they did a test on it, so I got to ride the same track Keiichi Tsuchiya got to do, except they did it backwards. But yeah, I rode the same track as the Drift King. Hell yeah. I mean, that dude's a legend, so he can't be wrong coming here. But yeah, so I'm making up acres on Lawrence suddenly. I guess maybe either he got tired or maybe he wants to follow me around or something. So let's see why I'm right behind him. Oh, and he just waves me by. I guess he wants to follow me around and see if he can learn anything from me. Because obviously he can run away from me all day on power, but if he can try to duplicate what I do in the turns, maybe he'll get faster. So let's go through the lap. Let's see. Brake when you see God. Tip in super late. Late apex. Bunch of bumps here. No big deal. They don't upset the bike that much. They just kind of make it wiggle a little bit. Once again, blast down the hill. Brake. Wait till you see God, then brake. Very late apex. Do not run off the inside. Let it run out wide. Run up the hill, brake really late, tip over, a really late apex, get on the power, same thing down the hill, brake really late apex. Now you might see me not using the whole track, and the reason for that is twofold. One, on the 150R, because it's such a easy to turn bike, I don't really need to. I would just be traveling more distance and wasting time. And two, the edges are just honestly too sketchy for me. I'm really not a big fan of the drop-offs there. Like, I lose no time by being mid-track inside entry here, and mostly that's the 150R because it's such a telepathic bike. It's so easy to ride. It's really this is what the Grom should have been. Like, if they made a 20 horsepower Grom from the factory, everybody who would get one would die, probably, but it would be an amazing bike to ride. So, going up this hill, watch the sides of the track. Like, this is an unforgiving place. This emulates Twisty's ride perfectly. Like, every edge is a sharp drop off. There's really not much runoff. If you go off track, you're hitting some rocks, shrubs, whatever. This is not a place you want to. This is not a place you want to fully send it. This is a place you want to work on technique and get it right. Big head turns everywhere. Floating here, the bike feels like it wants to run out wide. Same for turn one. It'll feel like there's some bouncing. Like, it'll basically feel like the front and rear are both kind of getting loose. But it's not a big deal. You can if you relax and use good body position, it'll work out. But anyway, loved this ride. It was awesome. I'm glad I got to do it.